Hey friends, let's do a little stretching. My name is Angel. You can call me ZGALA or Auntie Angel if you prefer. And I'm going to do some stretching, hopefully pull off a full body stretch before I go to bed. And as usual, I invite you to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. Don't forget to listen to your own body. Don't forget that it shouldn't hurt, it shouldn't feel wrong, but also it's okay to push yourself a little bit outside your comfort zone. Mostly make sure you listen to your own body and have some fun above and beyond all else, because life is too short to take it too seriously. I'm going to come back here and just start off with a little free arms swinging. You might notice I got some of my work clothes on today, my real work clothes, not my pretend work clothes where I dress up like a responsible person and pretend to be somebody that I'm not really, which I do sometimes. How about you? You ever do that? I want to take a couple breaths and just root into the center of the earth, relaxing the bottoms of the feet, checking in with the alignment. I like to imagine that I'm connecting to the center of the earth and connecting to the center of the cosmos and just being held in gentle stretching mode between those two. And I'm going to step back with the left foot first, as I like to. Pull that back hip forward, forward hip back. Tuck the tailbone under, push into that back heel, and just enjoy a nice warrior pose, moderate here. I like to check that the front knee isn't crunching past the front toes, and working to pull those hips onto the perpendicular line, checking in with the feet, being on the parallel line. I'm going to bring the arms up and roll the shoulders down and back and just focus, sharp focus on the fingertips. Maybe stretch those arms out. Shift that back heel onto the perpendicular line to open the hips. And watch that finger arc across the top of the body. Just slide that foot out just a little bit more. The heel should be about on the same line in this position. Checking out this side plane here. Gazing out past each set of fingers to make sure that my alignment is in a line. Remember to breathe and smile all the while. And then let's slide that back foot out a little bit more. Bend from the hips and bring the right arm down on the inside of that right leg. Using the elbow and knee against each other for a little torque and support. Lifting the left hand, looking up past those fingertips. Still breathing, still smiling. Bring that hand around the back for an additional twist. Reaching for this opposite thigh and gazing out past that long leg. I'm going to keep it relatively speedy tonight because I'm tired once again. Unwinding all of that and shifting onto that back toe to close the hips. Bring both hands down on the inside of that front leg. And I'm going to bend those elbows, just get an additional little deeper lunge there. Rooting the hands onto the floor, fingers are wide. I'm going to bring this front foot back to meet the back foot and push back into the hips. The hips are aiming for the wall behind me and the heels are pushing down toward the floor. The head is between the elbows in a nice line, tipping the tailbone a little bit toward the back of the head. There's that nice line from the fingertips through the spine, out the tailbone. Pressing the heart toward the center of the earth. This is Adho Mukha, or downward facing dog. I like to bend one knee and press more into the other heel, and then bend the other, pressing more into the other heel, and again pressing back into both heels, tipping that tailbone. And let's swing forward through a plank position or a chaturanga, coming down, letting the knees touch the floor, releasing those toes, pushing up through the chest, lifting the eyes and the chin, trying to relax the belly. Stretching from the pelvis all the way up through the front of the body, out the chin, toward the sky. A little tongue stretch there for good measure, and again, lifting the chin. Try not to crunch up in those shoulders, really lifting through the upper body. And then tuck the toes back under, lift those hips again, and push back again into Adho Mukha Asana, or downward facing dog. Pushing down in the heels, pushing back in the hips, pressing the heart toward the center of the earth. Tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head. Relaxing the belly. I'm going to step forward with that left foot into a deep lunge on the other side. Pressing into that back heel if possible. And then step forward with that back foot. Coming into a forward fold and just hanging here. Letting the spine go, letting the head go. Letting the arms just hang. Relaxing the belly. Bending from the hips. Bend the knees if that feels good. I like to do a little of each there, kind of resting my upper body on my lower body and then straightening those legs a little bit more, hanging the upper body from the hips. I'm going to swing the arms back as I come up into a counter stretch, lifting the eyes and arms and chest to the sky, pushing the hips forward a little bit. A little back bend, just moderate. Checking in with the whole body. Bringing the arms up and back down in front. Rolling the shoulders down and back for Tadasana or mountain pose. Checking in with the alignment, relaxing the bottoms of the feet. And I'm going to step back with the other foot, stepping back on the right. And again, pulling these hips onto the perpendicular line. Pulling the front hip back, back hip forward, tucking the tailbone under a little bit, pressing into that back heel, checking that the front knee isn't crunching past the front toes. Lifting the arms, bringing them down in front and rolling those shoulders down and back. Just bringing sharp focus onto the fingertips. Still breathing and smiling best as I can. I'm going to push those fingertips out as I move that back heel onto the perpendicular line, and then watch this finger as it arcs across the body. It's challenging for the balance sometimes. And making sure that the heels are in relatively aligned. Checking in with the alignment of each hand. The hips are open now. This knee is aiming toward the wall behind me a little bit in my mind. I'm going to slide that long leg out as I bend from the hip and bring the left arm down on the inside of the left leg, lifting the right arm, gazing up past those fingertips for a nice side twisting triangle, aeroplane pose as I like to call it, for fun. And then let's bring this hand around the back side, reach for that opposite thigh for an additional twist, gazing out past that long leg. Enjoying a nice side lunge here. Unwinding all of that, coming onto that back toe and closing the hips, placing the hands down on the inside of that long leg and bending the elbows a little for a nice additional lunge. Hands are nice and strong, fingers are wide, and we're going to press back again, bringing that front foot back to meet the back foot. Pressing down in the heels, pressing back in the hips, pressing down with the heart, tipping the tailbone a little bit toward the back of the head. I'm going to bring the knees down gently and slide these hands out, keeping the lower body active and aiming the forehead for the floor into Uttana Shishosana, or extended puppy pose. Coming all the way down to the forehead on the floor, and just continuing to move those hands out as much as possible. That gives a really nice stretch through the shoulders and chest. Just enjoying a nice heavy sigh there. A little bit of a resting, intense resting stretch pose for me. Just letting that release for a breath or two through the shoulders and arms and chest. Still continuing to move those arms out just a little bit if possible. And then I'm going to start to move them back, lifting the forehead and come to all fours with hands under shoulders, knees under the hips, and do a couple rounds of cat-cow. Breathing, this is cat or Marjariasana, pulling up in the abdomen, tucking the chin and the tailbone, exhaling, pulling up in the waist, and then inhaling, breathing into the belly, lifting the chest and the tailbone. Spitilasana or cow, and then back into cat. Exhaling, rounding the spine, front to back and side to side. Inhaling into the belly, lifting through the chest, lifting through the tailbone. Exhaling. And inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Squeezing the air out. Coming back to tabletop or all fours, straight back. Let's tuck those toes under, slide the hands out just a little bit and come back into Adho Mukha Asana or downward facing dog. Pressing the heart toward the center of the earth, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing the heels down, pushing back in the hips. And I'm going to step forward with that right foot in between the hands for another deep lunge on that side. Just enjoying a little bounce there, pushing into that back heel. Still breathing and smiling. And then stepping forward with that back foot, coming again into a forward fold, releasing the belly, releasing the back, letting the head hang, letting the arms hang. Let's roll up, just leaving the hands dangling, pushing from the center of the earth through the bottoms of the feet, starting with the tailbone up nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Just checking in with the spine all the way, noticing where it's supple, where it's stiff. I've got some crackles and pops in there. Let's bring the arms up overhead again, lifting the chest, arms and eyes to the sky, pushing the hips forward a little for a little bit of a counter stretch. And bringing the arms back together and down, rolling those shoulders down and back. Just checking in with the alignment. Relaxing the bottoms of the feet, relaxing the hips, making sure they're over the ankles, relaxing the shoulders over the hips, pushing the chin back just a little to lengthen the back of the neck, getting the ears over the shoulders. Yep, I'm getting my clap snaps back. Feels good. I've been fighting a sinus infection off and on for far too long. But I'm going to get rid of it. I'm working on it. Feeling better. Better and better. I'm real happy to say. Been taking my Dong Quai, taking my vitamins. All that stuff helps. You can let me know in the comments if you do something for yourself that helps. This is we're all in this together. And yeah, the better I do, the better you can do, the better you can do, the better I can do. It's a collective. I thank you for being part of it. I thank you for being you. Thank you for letting me be me. Thank you for liking and subscribing, because it helps me out a lot. And remember to stay courageous, stay curious. Get more fit, get more free. Till next time, I'll be seeing ya. Peace.